What? Okay. Hey guys, there's a movie playing in the background, but today we're gonna be looking at some My Story animated, and we're gonna be taking a look at a video called I was in a coma for how long did it say? I've been in a coma for years. Yeah, that's what it said. So I don't know. So let's just take a look at it. And yeah.
Hi there, I'm Aria.
Hey,
Imagine yourself not being able to say, I'm hungry, I'm hurting, thank you, I love you. Imagine yourself being imprisoned inside a body
Wow.
which doesn't obey your orders at all. People are all around you, yet you feel alone. It wouldn't be easy, would it? Well, I lived for years feeling this way. Years of wishing for the ability to connect, to express, to share with others. Maybe you're wondering
Wow.
about the reason?
That's just
Well,
sad.
it was that I fell off the tree. I was my mom and dad's only child. We were a middle.
Okay, so she fell off a tree. Looks like, and there was like a ladder there or something. So maybe she fell off a tree house or something.
Middle-class family, and we lived in a small house with a stunning backyard, which had an old oak tree that was said to
Wow.
be even older than my grandparents.
Wow.
When my dad first bought the house, he found a tree house in the oak tree built by the kids who'd lived in the house before us. After a lot of convincing, my father agreed to fix the tree house. He even made a wooden ladder so I could climb into the tree easily. I remember helping my dad decorate its walls with posters and photos of my favorite band. For a second, you might be thinking, what a sweet family. But no, this wasn't the case exactly.
What?
You see, my mom was a moody woman who yelled a lot.
The mom. It always has to be the mom.
And
of course, her name is probably like Karen or something. Probably Karen. Karens are the worst.
And nothing.
Karens are the worst. You know.
Nothing me or my dad did could please her. She would spend the whole night smoking cigarettes in front of the TV and then sleep the whole day. As for my dad, he spent his time working so he could pay.
Guys, don't smoke. It's disgusting. It's horrible for you. Don't smoke
the bills and buy us food. And me? Well, after I got home from school, there was nothing for me to do but go and play with my dolls in the treehouse. For my 13th birthday, my dad bought me the best gift ever. He bought me a little white puppy that was super fluffy. I called him Snowball. Perhaps this dog would keep me company so I wouldn't be so alone. I loved Snowball, and I taught him lots of tricks. We used to spend all day together in the treehouse. We would only go home to eat dinner. That way, we steered clear of my mom's yelling and her long fights with my dad. I watched the sky a lot during my days in the treehouse. Back then, my dad only came home after the sun had set, so I'd watch the stars lighting up the sky. They looked amazing. I knew that those stars were nothing but meteors traveling fast through the sky as they burned, but everything my dad told me about them made them seem magical. One time, I was watching the sky with Snowball, waiting for my dad to return home. When he arrived, he climbed up and sat beside me. He said, "This falling star is a wish that just came true for someone out there in the world." "A wish?" I said. He explained a long time ago, there was a poor man praying to the gods every day. However, the gods were always busy, so they didn't answer him. One day, he screamed so loudly the mountains shook. The gods looked at him and listened to his troubles. They became so sad and cried burning stars. So this way, whenever he saw a falling star in the sky, he'd make a wish and the gods would make them come true. But can this be possible, I asked?
That's cool.
And so this way, whenever to hear, but not to believe.
Only 10% battery. Hang on, guys. I'm gonna get the charger. But that would be pretty cool if I could just be that old man, and I could find us. And if I see a shooting star, I could just wish. What I would wish for upon the star is to have this darn dang virus over. But the reason why I'm not gonna say like the name of the virus, because if you say actually the name of the virus, YouTube kind of gets a bit mad at you. So
if the legends are so old, how can we know if they are true or not? I asked. He just smiled at me and said it was time to head back into the house. On that same night, while I was lying in bed hugging Snowball, it started to feel like my life was falling apart. My mom was screaming hysterically at my dad, telling him that the money he was bringing in was no longer enough and that he should start searching for an extra job. She said that she could no longer go out with her friends because she was so embarrassed. She couldn't afford to buy new dresses every time they went out like her friends did. I saw Snowball looking at me as if he wanted to say, "What a silly woman."
Yeah.
The fighting and loud screaming continued for
What a bad mom. Wow. She's probably a gold digger too. Guys, she's probably a gold digger too. If she meets like some rich guy later on in the video, I'm just gonna watch.
Until I could no longer bear it. I snuck out of the window and headed towards the dark oak tree in the backyard. Everything around me was dark. Behind me walked Snowball. We crept very quietly so no one would hear us, and then we arrived at the treehouse. It was pitch black, so I missed a step on the ladder, and then my legs slipped.
Oh, God.
The last thing I remembered from that day was that after I fell hard on the ground, everything around me turned fuzzy. Snowball sounded far away, even though I could see him jumping around me. Then I wasn't able to feel anything.
Wow.
After a little while, I felt myself waking up. My head hurt, and I couldn't feel any part of my body. I'd completely lost control over my body parts. Even my eyes, I couldn't open them. I could feel the light around me, but it was too difficult to open my eyes. Oh my, what happened to me? Was I stuck in my sleep? Or was it worse than that? Had I died? I didn't know much about death except that after death, a person drowns in darkness. But this...
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know if they drown or something, but I'm pretty sure she's not dead. I'm not laughing about, no, I'm not laughing about that, but I'm pretty sure she's not dead. I'm just pretty sure she's just panicking a lot, and guys, my dad is laughing in the other room. But yeah.
Darkness,
I'm pretty sure she's not dead though, but she's probably in a coma.
Felt was different, completely different. I could feel my body freezing. Suddenly I heard someone. If I was able to hear him, that means I wasn't dead. Thank God. From his tone of voice, I gathered he was a doctor speaking to my parents. He said, the damage she suffered to her head due to the fall has resulted in severe internal bleeding in her brain, which is preventing enough oxygen from reaching her body, resulting in a coma. But I wasn't in a coma. I was there with them.
So, if your brain bleeds, if your brain apparently bleeds, and so apparently if your brain starts bleeding and you can't, that's weird. So apparently if your brain starts bleeding, you end up in a coma because your brain can't get to that much oxygen. Man, science, man. Look at the mom. Look at the mom. She looks like the most disappointed person ever. She looks like she just lost a Fortnite game. Like a round of Fortnite. She's like, oh my God, are you freaking kidding me? Oh God. Are you freaking kidding me? That's what she looks like. And the dad just looks like severely depressed. I feel bad for the dad.
I heard my dad crying and my mom inquiring about the treatment fees. I wanted to scream, to call out for them, to say something, anything. But I wasn't able to even talk at that time. Suddenly, I was just a vegetable, unable to...
Apparently, I was a broccoli. I just turned into a broccoli, guys. After I got into that coma for 25 years, I turned into a broccoli. Guys, little did you know, I turned into a broccoli because I was in a coma for 27 years before I started this YouTube channel. Whoa. I should probably stop.
Anything but listen. Most people don't think twice before talking or connecting with others. They do it automatically. But I had absolutely no way of speaking to anyone.
Wow.
For the last 13 years, I had been annoyed.
Wow, she's been in a coma for... So she on her 13th birthday, yeah. So it was her 13th birthday.
A girl who loved her dad, her dog, and who loved to play. I was happy and healthy. But now, suddenly, that had all changed. The doctors didn't know what to do. They thought I was completely in a coma, but they always treated me nicely. All the time I spent in the hospital, I only heard my dad.
So apparently, is this how people are in comas? They're not actually like asleep for like years. They just can't move their body and they can't even speak though. That's weird. That is crazy. Just imagine that. That's probably what comas are. Like you're not asleep, but you're like awake, but you can barely move your body. You can't even like speak or open your eyes. That's probably what comas are.
Dad's voice. My mom had completely vanished. I didn't know where she was, and I didn't hear anything related to her.
Peace out, Mom.
Until the day the doctor said there is nothing more they can do, and that it is best for me to return to my
Hopefully the
parents'
mom
home.
and
I
the
heard
dad
my mom
broke up,
arguing with my
'cause
dad. She
that's
didn't
a
want me back
freaking
home.
bad
I was,
mom.
according to her, a burden that she didn't want to carry.
Oh, don't be talking crap about people in comas, because they're hear you. They hear you, okay? Don't be talking bad about people in comas, okay, guys? That's all you need to know. What am I saying? But don't be talking bad about people in comas, because they hear you. They hear you, okay?
But I went home anyway. I was happy because I was returning home. I heard
I
my
would be
dad telling
happy
my
if I
mom
was
that he
returning
finished the
home.
treehouse because that was the last thing I
I would
asked.
be happy if I was returning home after being in a coma for like 2 months.
Asked him to do. That's why he insisted on bringing me back home,
After
so I
being
could be near
asleep in
the
the
things I
hospital for
loved.
12 months.
However, things went downhill from there. I lost my ability to move. I failed all the mind exams they conducted on me in the hospital, so the doctors told my parents they could treat me as if I didn't exist. My return home was just a hopeless attempt at keeping my unconscious body comfortable until I died. My dad tried his hardest to keep me comfortable, and that really annoyed my mom. Their friends stopped visiting after a while, and the money Dad was providing was no longer enough. Machines that were keeping me alive were too expensive. Before, I was able to escape my mom screaming and ranting, but today I was stuck with it without them even knowing that I could hear them. The whole thing felt like a nightmare. When my dad first got me Snowball, I thought that he was very smart and could just understand me without even having to talk to him. But my dad used to laugh and say, dogs are about as smart as a 3-year-old. They can.
No, they're not. Dogs aren't as smart as a 3-year-old. Dogs are the freaking best. Okay, guys? I like cats too, but I also love cats. I'm actually both. I'm a cat person and a dog person. So,
Feel when you're happy, sad, or scared, but they can't read your mind. Deep down, though, I knew Snowball was no ordinary dog.
yeah.
He was special enough to be able to read my thoughts because we had this insane bond. Every time my parents started their screaming matches, I'd hear Snowball sitting beside me and barking in a low voice, as if to tell me that everything would be all right. I was sure that Snowball knew I was a prisoner in my body, unlike what everyone else believed. He never left my side. His breathing was my only comfort. For a while, I used to be entertained by my father when he entered my room at night and started moving my body left and right to help my blood circulate. Once he was done, he'd sit beside me and talk.
Is that what they do for people in comas? I'm guessing that's what they do because that's how your hand starts falling asleep, because if you're not moving for a while, if you're not like moving and you're staying still for a while, then your circulation starts to get a bit tired and it just stands still, and your blood circulation just kind of stands still. And she's been staying still in that bed for probably years now, so that's probably what they have to do to keep her blood circulating, so her hand or her whole body doesn't fall asleep.
With me for an hour or so about his day.
And it's a really uncomfortable feeling to have your arm fall asleep.
Like he used to before, but that didn't last for long. The last talk he had with me was about how tired he was, both physically and mentally. That he was very upset he'd lost his little girl, the only person in the whole
That's
world who
just
used
so
to listen
sad.
to him. That day, I heard him sobbing so loudly. Then he suddenly said, "I can no longer bear to look at you like this anymore." After that, he stopped talking to me altogether.
Wow.
A year quickly turned into 2, and I felt the person I used to be disappearing. Not just her body, but also her memories. My
Her
mom said that she'd had
memories?
enough with my stuff taking up so much room, and
Oh,
that she could put the
freaking
space to
Karen.
good use. My dad was
Just divorce. How about you divorce with Karen? Because Karen is stupid and she should leave. She should just not exist because she is mean. She is a moody woman. I do not like Karen, or whatever her name is. I don't know. Her name is probably Karen because Karens are the worst. So yeah, she should just leave.
wasn't able to refuse, so he just said that he'd move my things to the treehouse. It wasn't long until I was moved out of my room to another one that was more practical and way smaller. It had barely enough room for my bed, machines, and for one person to be able to move around in.
Wow.
That was enough for me, according to my mom. What was worse?
Wow, the freaking mom. That's just a mean mom. Just imagine you being in a coma and your mom just goes like, your bed and your coma sleep still moving body is like taking too much space. Let's just move her to a smaller room. Like, bruh, what?
This was that this little room was next to the living room. That meant that I could hear everything. I mean, literally down to the tiniest details. 2 years turned to 3, and I was still in the same place with no one aware of my existence. It was like I was a ghost. Whenever my mom's friends came to visit, they used to ignore me, as if I was just part of the furniture. I was dead to everyone, just not in the ground. Only Snowball remained.
Well then, wait. This is a real big question. How is she gonna use the bathroom if she's in a coma and she can't even move her body? And also, she needs to drink water because if you're dehydrated and you're not drinking water or eating food, you're gonna die if you don't eat food or drink water. So I don't know how that happened.
At my side. My mom and her friends' conversations were
I guess
ridiculous.
when you're a coma and you're still for like 10 years, and you're just staying still for 10 years, I guess your body doesn't really need food and water.
They gossiped a lot and couldn't stop judging their relatives. Sometimes they talked about clothes, travel, and their husbands. I once heard my mom talking ill about my dad. She said he was the reason behind her unhappiness and that she had met some rich guy at a coffee shop. That guy had invited her.
Oh, she's a freaking gold digger. I knew it. She met a rich guy. I think she said a coffee shop. Yeah, I think she said like a coffee shop or something. So yeah, she's a freaking gold digger.
For a drink, and she'd gone to meet him. And now she was seriously considering leaving me and my dad.
Oh my god. Seriously? She's gonna cheat on the dad. Wow, she's literally cheating on the dad. On some rich guy she met.
For me, that was the worst part about those 3 years. Feeling totally powerless and not being able to stand in front of her and not being able to scream, "You're an ungrateful woman. All the things Dad did for you, and yet it's never enough. Now you want to leave him because some other guy has more money?" My poor dad didn't deserve my mom or.
Wow. Yeah, I would want to scream. I would want to scream. I would just want to kick down the door to that house. And literally in the middle of Karen's conversation or the mom's conversation and go like, "Hey, you're a freaking gold digger. You should leave. You are an ungrateful person. You are cheating. And you are just a bad person and all together. So, yeah, bye. I'm forcing you to leave this house."
Or even me. I found
That's what I
myself
would
in
do.
utter darkness, and the darkness was swallowing my dad up whole. I couldn't remember much about my life before the fall. I was so terrified I'd forget everything. I remembered having a friend called Maisie, but I couldn't remember what we used to do or how we'd spend time together. I remember loving science, but I no longer remembered any of the stuff that we'd learned at school. At the same time, my mind clung onto those memories, and at the same time, started creating new ones that hadn't existed before. I had to find a way to stay here, in this world, even if I had to create my own world inside my head. Maisie became my best friend. She always visited on Sundays.
Wow. Okay, so that's part one. That's actually part one. The video is 10 minutes long. It's actually 10 minutes long. By the way, if you guys want to watch this video, if you guys want to see this video, yeah. If you guys want to see this video, just go to My Story Animated. They have a whole YouTube channel. It's called My Story Animated, and yeah, it's right here. It's this video. It's this video right here. This video right here. So if you guys want to watch the video, just look up My Story Animated. Scroll down and click on the video. And once you click on the video, you'll see the part 2 right next to it. So yeah. Like the video and subscribe. Like the video if you guys want to see the part 2. And with all that being said, I'll see you guys later. Bye.